Rec Room is dead. It is buried, 6 feet under, not breathing anymore, no pulse, sleeping with the fishes. And no wealthy benefactor community effort will ever truly bring it back. Here's why I believe that. I started actively playing Rec Room about 4 years ago, and I had a great time with it. It was the first multiplayer VR game I really got into. Before, I usually just stuck to the classics, Beat Saber, Super Hot VR, and I also really enjoyed virtual reality. But around this time in the year of 2022, Bone Lab had just come out. Then Fusion came out. And since Fusion wasn't on Quest at the time, my friends and I, craving something, anything multiplayer excluding VR chat to mess around with, naturally gravitated to Rec Room because it was free, and it was free. For the next 2 years after that, we played Rec Room all the time. I vividly remember setting up copious amounts of mines around my flag on that one drive-in paintball map, defending the catacombs in Meme Planet PvP, trying to beat all my friends in Stunt Runner, grinding for tokens in Paddleball, staying up till like 2 a.m. playing that really good Uno game. You know the place. Plates of Doom, oh my god, that drunken bar fight game, and so much more. However, where I really spent most of my time was in the default park messing around with the Maker Pen, customizing my dorm room or spamming inventions to make my own rooms of recreation. I have to give them credit. Rec Room's Maker Pen and circuits were actually really good, and people made a lot of cool stuff with it. Not that I made anything especially cool, but I did have a blast messing around with that stuff in a sandbox. And that's what Rec Room mainly was to me, a sandbox. After all, that's what I was looking for, so after 2 years of actively playing Rec Room, my friends and I got computers and started playing Fusion, just as we dreamed of doing years ago, leaving Rec Room to fade into the background as we slowly drifted away from it. The entire time I played Rec Room, there was always sort of a layer of irony I put over everything. I considered the community to be mainly screeching children, and the majority of the games to be build your own FNAF 2 slop. However, in retrospect, I honestly enjoyed a lot of my time with Rec Room. Not necessarily the games that flooded the front page or the presence of the infantile specimens, but all that time spent goofing off with friends that Rec Room facilitated, that was something special. Something that I'll never forget, and something that did not deserve the general hate I gave Rec Room while I was still kicking. After my friends and I stopped consistently playing Rec Room, we still came back occasionally, like a few times a year, but that's nothing compared to our prime Rec Room days. Plus, I started to play Rec Room on my computer using a different account, so my original one that I sunk hundreds of hours into just kind of sat there, waiting like a time capsule. I can't say I was surprised that Rec Room was going to shut down. The game was on a downward spiral for years, and the monetization just kept getting more and more predatory. I actually remember telling my friends that Rec Room is definitely gonna shut down before the end of 2025. I was wrong, but not by that much. Still, when we officially got the news of Rec Room's shutdown, it was hard to hear, but it didn't really hit me until I hopped on the game with my friends and my old account for the final time. The last few hours of Rec Room were emotional for me. Returning to some of the old rooms I used to play, looking at all the pictures I took, realizing just how different my taste in music, TV, and games is now. Honestly, I almost shed a tear. This whole thing made me realize there's something special about virtual reality that truly becomes apparent in a situation like this. If Roblox shut down, I would wave goodbye and say good riddance, but even though I certainly spent less time on Rec Room, I was there in that world, that park, that dorm room, and that build your own FNAF 2. It just feels so much more personal. I wish I could have seen more, played more old games, experienced more of my cobbled together rooms. Despite that, I'm still satisfied with my final experience with the Rec Room. Just about all of the predatory monetization that was added over the years was removed, and what was left was a community getting together to simply play this game just one last time. It was beautiful. Unfortunately, the footage corrupted because Meta hates me, but for the final 10 minutes, my entire drunken bar fight lobby just stopped fighting and enjoyed the last moments of Rec Room peacefully together. I can confidently say that the best moments I ever had in Rec Room were the final ones, and those memories I made, that's how I want to remember it, which is why I don't plan on playing any of the Rec Room revivals. I had my fill. For me, Rec Room ended on a high note, and anything and everything that kept me coming back, every room and invention I ever made is gone now. I'm grateful that I got to explore the time capsule of my Rec Room account, and now that's done, I can officially move on from Rec Room to even better things. But not everybody wants to move on, and I can respect that. Not everybody had the same complete experience with Rec Room I did. Plus, Rec Room deserves to be archived for the future. I understand that angle completely. But, quick disclaimer, I mean absolutely no hate to any of the people or projects mentioned in this section, and I deeply condemn anyone who is stupid enough to harass or send hate to random people they saw in a YouTube video. If you do that, I personally hate you and hope you never see or interact with anything I ever make again. I think the current state of Rec Room revivals is looking pretty grim, and I worry for the future of all these projects because I think time will only magnify the issues I'm about to bring up, not fix them. So here's the 4 main problems that I think plague the Rec Room revival scene. Let's start off with, oh god, oh no, there's so many of them, there's way too many of them. The Rec Room community has been shattered into a million different revivals, and I don't think that's sustainable. Rec Room only was what it was because of its cohesive community. Rec Room was a service that offered servers and creation tools to make your own games within its easy-to-use ecosystem. When the community is split between at least 4 big revivals, problems emerge, like never-ending debates about which revival is better. And imagine you want to play a game on one of these revivals and one of your friends wants to play a different one. Problem is, one game is on Radium and another is on Vanilla. I could be wrong, but I doubt games developed for one revival are automatically compatible with another. And there's no way the majority of people making the games on these revivals are going to make versions for every other popular revival. That's just unreasonable. Let me put into perspective just how many revival projects there are right now. I've been actively watching 25 different revival Discord servers, and I didn't even put effort into discovering them. If I wanted to dig up every single revival project, the number would probably be much closer to 100 different projects. And in my opinion, for any of these projects to actually reach the goal of reviving Rec Room, it will have to be the only one that the community collectively gathers around. This is Fortnite, this is Battle Royale, this is Rec Royale, and the transition from 100 revivals to 1 is going to be slow and chaotic to say the least, especially when revivals are starting to ask for donations now. Although, I think the number of these revivals is a little inflated, because I have a theory that a lot of these Rec Room revival projects were made by children who have no experience in developing or running a project like this, with the main goal of getting subscribers, views, and people in their Discord server, actually developing a Rec Room revival being secondary. No hate to anyone who did that, you guys have already been through enough hate. Most of you are young and everybody has to start somewhere, though I implore you to maybe start with a more manageable project. I guess it's a testament to just how easy and approachable Rec Room's development tools were that so many people saw Rec Room shutting down and thought to themselves, okay, I'll just go make a Rec Room then, proceeding to overpromise and show nothing because no development has been developed yet. As soon as Rec Room shut down, it was very easy for your project to explode in popularity by simply making a poorly edited video saying you were the next Rec Room.
Alright guys, today we're gonna make a Rec Room revival. So first we need to get Rec Room logo. So you get the Rec Room logo. You need to download this. Open Rec Room logo. Let's get rid of all this, extra. We're gonna delete. Oh no, my run, my run. So this is our Rec Room, and then what we're gonna do is color. Okay, this is my new Rec Room, and then also we're gonna make it a little different. Everybody has to change the shape up a little bit. Let's just kind of. Okay, this is my Rec Room. Also, I'm gonna put paint layer. Okay, so and this is. Oh no, time. Oh no, my timer. That's good. Now that we have that, we need to make a shoe heart room. Yes. Okay, so now we need video. Yes. Okay, guys, and then we're gonna add the picture. Yeah. All right. So all you have to do on this step, you have to copy and paste in. You gotta be like that. So this is my background. Good. And then we go into our editor software. And we take our shoe heart room background and we put it here, and then we copy and paste from Reddit, and now we have our perfect shoe heart room.
Like and subscribe.
Oh, message from Coach. Yeah.
Oh no, is Rec Room really over?
Yeah, that's the soundbite we need.
Rec Room really over?
Over. Yeah. And that's it. That's my Rec Room. Shoe heart room. No. No. Reclet shut down. No. Alright. So if we look at the timer, I did that in 2 seconds. This is my Rec Room.
Oh no. Is Rec Room really over?
now this will get 500,000 views. I wish I was exaggerating, but that's exactly what it took for Rec Room 2. Rec Room 2 was a project and channel with the goal of remaking Rec Room from the ground up, but a little different. The announcement video for Rec Room 2 got 500,000 views and the channel got 20,000 subscribers in a few days. Then the channel and video were deleted by the allegedly 12 or 13-year-old who made it because they got death threats. And the Discord server changed ownership to some people who made a new channel and renamed everything to RecCo. I would show the video from the RecCo channel that explained the situation, but that video has also now been deleted, and because of more drama, the channel that it was on, RecCo Official, is now not official, and you should definitely trust RecCo VR Official, because that's the new third and final channel. Let me remind you that it took a whole 18 days for all of this to happen. For some reason, I doubt that this project is going to survive long enough to make an actual Rec Room adjacent game from scratch without imploding. And that same story has basically been mirrored by plenty of other projects, like Redux, announcement video, Discord server, hype, drama, death threats, Rebux, I don't think I get the hype, ownership transfer, more drama. It's a tale as old as 19 days ago as of writing this, and I'm sure it's going to continue, mainly because many of these projects at least appear from the outside to have major problems with organization and management. And for all the revivals that have gone to the stage of actually releasing something that people can play, it hasn't gotten any easier because they've had to fight tooth and nail against... Every game has to fight against cheaters, but specifically community projects like these revivals have to fight against cheaters and trolls the most. Because, number one, they hate everyone else's fun. 2, they have the power to destroy an entire community that's on its last legs. And 3, it's also probably way easier to hack into a random modified snapshot of Rec Room that doesn't have the kind of funding to license easy anti-cheat like Rec Room did, which even that didn't work very well. This sucks. Simple as that. It's just another problem the way of actually reviving Rec Room, and this time it's not even really the fault of the people making these revivals. Remember 30 seconds ago when I mentioned money, money, dollar bill, cash, cheddar, dosh is something Rec Room desperately needed to exist. Let me give you a little history lesson. Rec Room was founded in 2016. Then in later 2016 and early 2017, Rec Room raised $5 million in funding. In June 2019, they announced that they raised an additional $24 million. December 2020, $20 million more. March 2021, $100 million more of funding. In December of the same year, they raised another $145 million. But after 2021, things took a turn. On March 3rd, 2025, Rec Room made a blog post announcing they had to lay off 16% of their employees. In the blog post, it says, "The market has changed dramatically from where it was in the earlier part of the decade. Gaming market growth has slowed, while higher interest rates and a more challenging fundraising environment make cash harder to come by. As a result, we have to change the way we think about Rec Room's financial strategy." Then later in the post, it says, "Our current assumption is that we need to become self-sustaining using our current cash and not plan on any future fundraisers. We need to control our own destiny by bringing in more money than we spend." But we all know how this ends. 5 months later, in August of 2025, Rec Room had to lay off 50% of their remaining employees, and you know the rest. Shut down. Compare this to a Rec Room revival that does not have $5 million. It's certainly an uphill battle. Rec Room itself couldn't get funding, so there's no way a revival will ever get that sweet venture capital green, so they're gonna have to look somewhere else, and that place is the community. But getting funding like that is a double-edged sword, especially when everything is so unorganized right now. These are all Discord servers with people working for free. No companies are being formed and no contracts are being signed, so what's exactly stopping anyone from just taking the money and running? No matter what, there's no way the community is raising enough money to run servers anywhere close to the quality of what Rec Room had. Radium seems to be doing a pretty good job with funding and servers, but we'll see how things go in the future. You know what would really suck? If a revival with a donation page started imploding. Wait, RecCo did what? Everything in these revivals always seems to lead to drama. Cheaters drama, funding drama, existing without releasing in the first 2 days of existing, drama, and death threats. I'm not going to cover any specific drama extensively because there's way too much of it, and I'm not really a the blank situation is crazy kind of guy. If you're wondering what happened with RecCo, the guy who ran their donation and YouTube pages was removed from the project, as well as 14 other people.
Let's just say over 10 people got removed.
Who's in the right and who's in the wrong, I have no idea. Zero concrete details have been shared. Fortunately though, the damage is only $5, but it could just have easily been way more. So I recommend if you donate to these projects, do it with caution, especially the ones that haven't released anything yet. The main thing I want to talk about with drama is how it affects the community. Every hack, every death threat, every raid, and every swatting threat makes Rec Room's already not exactly known for being Elmer's non-toxic community even worse to be around. Which, of course, does a lot of damage to the possibility of a true Rec Room revival ever happening, because, as I've said before and will say again, Rec Room was its community. Every incident that happens and all the Discord drama just serves to poison the memory of what Rec Room actually was. So, sorry to the 25 different Rec Room revival servers I joined, I'm leaving as soon as I post this video. And that's the final big issue I think is plaguing the Rec Room revivals. So now it's time to move on to the final part of this video. In my opinion, nothing anytime soon is going to come close to bringing back what Rec Room had. It was a product of an era of excitement and investment in VR that has since passed, and I think you'll only find decay of what once was the Rec Room community within the current revivals we have, not growth. The YouTubers are leaving, the people who made Rec Room games are leaving. Only a small fraction of the Rec Room community are still playing these revivals, and in their current form, they seem to be doomed to slowly fade into obscurity. But I truly think a real revival is possible. It just won't look like this. I predict that if anything succeeds in bringing the Rec Room community back, it will be in the shape of a spiritual successor in the next wave of VR investment, whenever that is. It won't look exactly like Rec Room, it won't be called Rec Room, it won't have the logo or the same songs, but it will take heavy inspiration from Rec Room where it counts, in the creation tools and the ease of use. That's what I think will bring Rec Room back. Not a copy, not a snapshot, more like a rebirth. Certainly not something that will happen anytime soon. But it might just happen someday. Rec Room had some serious potential. It's sad it had to die like this, but maybe, just maybe, from the ashes something even better will emerge. The closest thing to what I'm imagining that is being worked on right now is Act 2, which of course doesn't have nearly as much traction as some of the other revivals. I really respect Act 2 for distancing itself from Rec Room and trying to be its own distinct thing. And unlike any of the other revivals I've seen, the guy making it actually worked on Rec Room, so clearly he has some experience. I guess time will tell how that project pans out. Finally, I want to refute the one assumption this entire video was built upon. Rec Room is dead. Which, yes, that is mainly true. The video game name Rec Room is dead. But Rec Room was always its community. So in that sense, Rec Room lives on in the lucky people who are around for the only era of VR so far that Rec Room could have survived in. Rec Room facilitated so much creation and taught so many people about making games. There's no doubt in my mind that many of the people who made games on Rec Room will move on to making games elsewhere. You just have to find them. Additionally, go make something cool yourself. Anything, no matter how big or small. Just make something. That's how we truly keep the spirit of Rec Room alive. And while you're at it, give it your Rec Room best. Thanks for watching.